When their adopted retired police dog fell ill during a walk, this family quickly took him to the vet. However, they never expected what happened next. The vet was so shocked when he examined the dog, it was clear he had to act quickly to save him. But what was wrong with the dog? Welcome to Wonderbot Animals. The car ride was silent, except for the children, who tried to comfort the dog that was clearly in a lot of pain. He had suddenly become sick during their walk, and his family was extremely worried. Although he was conscious, he kept giving them a look as if he was asking for their help. Creed hadn't been with them for very long, but they all loved him deeply. It was devastating to see him suffer like this. Liz just hoped the vet could make him better. Creed had given a lot to his community before he retired. If any dog deserved to enjoy a carefree life, it was Creed. But now, it seemed he might not get that chance. When they got to the vet, he was breathing weakly and with difficulty. 2 staff members quickly took him into the examination room, and their faces turned white when they began their examination. The vet was equally stunned by what he saw. Explaining the situation to the family would be challenging. Meanwhile, Liz and her children waited, tears in their eyes. Liz worried she might have inadvertently prepared her kids for a great sadness. They had wanted a dog for so long, and losing him now would be devastating. When she felt they were ready for the responsibility, she looked into adopting a dog retiring from service, knowing they were well trained and deserved a loving home after their service. She had applied at several places, including the Police Dog Academy. Not every dog makes it through training, but that doesn't mean they're not intelligent. Liz had put her name down wherever possible, yet it still came as a surprise when she got a call. It was from the local police department. They had a dog named Creed who was about to retire. Usually, a retiring K9 officer would go home with its handler, but Creed's handler couldn't take him in. They needed to find him a new home. Liz and her family were invited to meet him to see if they would be a good match. This was the first time her children learned about her efforts, and they were thrilled. They had longed for a dog, and Creed seemed like the ideal choice. Would he fit in with their family, though? Liz and the kids visited the police station and met Creed in the yard. Given the command to relax, Creed behaved just like any other pet dog might. Liz had concerns about his size, but his gentle nature with her kids quickly alleviated her fears. Creed hit it off with the kids right away, but while they toured the police vehicles, Liz had her chance to bond with him. As the kids left, Creed came and leaned against her legs. It was an instant connection for both. The dog was affectionate and highly intelligent, everything they had hoped for. They proceeded with the adoption paperwork, and soon Creed was completing his final patrol. The family attended his official retirement announcement over the police radio, a touching ceremony. Creed was finally going home with them, and they had prepared a warm welcome. Although he brought some toys from his past, many new ones awaited at his new home. They set up his bed, and the kids couldn't wait to introduce him to his new playthings. The following months were among the happiest for the family. Creed added a missing element of joy and protection, entertaining the kids immensely. At night, he would snuggle next to the adults, joining in their TV time. Their love for Creed was unanimous, which made the ordeal they were about to face all the more distressing. On a hiking day, with the kids running ahead as a playful challenge to Creed's protective instincts, nobody anticipated the sudden crisis. Creed was actively chasing after the kids when he collapsed, his hind legs failing him entirely. But before we find out what happened next, give this video a like to help it reach 7K likes and subscribe to the channel. Creed was unable to move, much less chase after anything. He was in excruciating pain and couldn't get up for what seemed like an eternity. The fear they all felt was overwhelming, and they quickly agreed that they needed to get him to a veterinarian. Liz's husband carefully lifted the dog into their vehicle and sped off to the clinic. When the veterinarian emerged from the examination room, they braced themselves, expecting to hear that Creed was simply too aged for such vigorous activity. However, the actual cause left them dumbfounded. Creed was suffering because of a bullet lodged near his spine. This bullet was creating pressure and swelling around his spinal area, which explained why he was immobilized. The vet stressed the urgency of removing the bullet despite the inherent risks of such a procedure. Faced with no viable alternative, Liz and her husband promptly agreed to the surgery. They each took a moment to offer Creed their love before he was taken into surgery. As they waited, filled with anxiety, Liz was determined to uncover how Creed ended up with an unremoved bullet. She reached out to the police officer who had facilitated Creed's adoption. The backstory the officer shared shed significant light on the situation. Creed had been a top police dog, often deployed in the line of duty to confront high-risk scenarios alongside his handler. However, one operation went disastrously awry. They were executing what was supposed to be a standard and safe house search under a search warrant. It was anticipated to be straightforward, but the suspect had hidden contraband he was desperate to keep hidden. Unexpectedly, the suspect drew a weapon and fired, catching everyone off guard. The bullet was aimed at Creed's human partner, but Creed, reacting with incredible speed, leapt to shield his handler, taking the bullet himself. He was immediately taken to a veterinarian specialized in treating police dogs, where it was discovered that the bullet had lodged in a location too risky for surgical removal. There was a slight silver lining, though. The bullet could remain without causing issues for years unless it shifted position, which is precisely what occurred during their hike. The thought of losing Creed was unbearable for Liz and her family, who had grown deeply attached to him. They anxiously awaited the outcome of his surgery, hoping for the best. After what felt like an eternity, the vet finally emerged with uplifting news. Creed was out of danger. The surgery to remove the bullet was successful, and it didn't cause any lasting damage to his spine. Creed would soon return home, and with several weeks of rehabilitation, he'd be back to his playful and protective self. The family was granted a brief visit with Creed before leaving him to rest overnight at the clinic. As they stepped outside, they were greeted by an unexpected sight. A group of police officers had gathered, eager for an update on Creed. To them, Creed wasn't just a dog. He was a fellow officer, a part of their extended family. Some officers had even contributed towards his medical expenses. It was clear Creed was cherished by both his original and his new family, and they were all committed to ensuring he received the hero's treatment for the remainder of his days. A heartwarming conclusion indeed. Would you consider opening your home to a retired police dog? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, share it, and subscribe for more. See you later.